It's never too late to become what you could have been. George Eliot. Have you ever had that moment, alone, in the silence of an evening, where a simple question crossed your soul? How much time do I really have left to live? Not in terms of days, but in quality, in peace, in strength, in meaning. Today, we reveal to you 7 signs which scientists consider to be powerful predictors of longevity after age 70. But even more, each sign is an invitation to transform, to reignite that inner spark that time has not been able to extinguish. It is not the number of our years that counts, but the life in our years. Abraham Lincoln. Collect your vital energy, breathe deeply, and let's stay together until the end. 1. Your walking speed, your life counter. He who moves slowly will go further than he who runs aimlessly. African proverb. Listen carefully. There is a moment, an almost invisible moment, when we understand that walking is no longer just a mechanical action. It's a language, a silent message that the body sends to the soul and to the world. When you cross 70, each step becomes a beat of time. And science has confirmed it. The speed at which you walk predicts with uncanny accuracy how much longer you will live. But this is not a cold prediction. It's a living revelation. Because it's not just the body that moves forward. It's your vital energy who expresses himself. Look around you, in a park, in the street, in a market. There are always these elders who walk, their backs straight, their gaze steady, their legs cutting through the air with confidence. And there are those who drag on, step after step, as if each movement costs years. But what studies have found is that this is not inevitable. Your walking speed may change. She can reflect the state of your heart, the clarity of your mind, the liveliness of your will. Life is like walking on a tight rope. You have to move forward so as not to fall. Chinese proverb. One day, a 76-year-old woman showed up at a longevity clinic in Japan. She was not taking any medication. She lived alone, in a small, modest apartment with no elevator. She went up and down the stairs every day. But above all, she walked every morning, at her own pace, through the streets of Kyoto. Not to do sport, but because she said this: I feel my life flowing when I walk. When they measured his walking speed, 1.4 meters per second. This is above the average for people aged 50. Its longevity, 98 years old, without chronic illness, with a clear memory, a voice full of warmth, and a gentle energy that did good to everyone she met. And you? Since when have you not simply walked to connect with the breath of life? Brisk walking is not a race. It's a slow conversation with your breath, a dialogue between your past and your present, a ritual where each step becomes a silent prayer. And what you're feeding on this walk, it's not just your legs, it's your heart, which pumps more efficiently. It's your brain, which is oxygenated. It's your intestine, which is finding its rhythm again. And above all, it is your spirit, which finds its direction. The legs are the pillars of the soul. If they move forward with confidence, everything else follows. Tibetan wisdom doctors talk about walking speed as the 6th vital sign. We take your blood pressure, pulse, temperature, and soon we will also measure your ability to walk for meters without stopping, without wobbling. But you, brother, you, sister, you don't need a machine to know if your body still wants to live. You just need to walk 10 minutes, without phone, without destination, and to listen. The rhythm of your breath, the weight of your thoughts, the anchoring of your feet. There is one thing that scientists have not yet measured. It is the light in your eyes after walking. The elders know it. Walking activates cellular memory. It's awakening buried memories, bringing sorrows to the surface, but also surges of joy. Walk slowly when you are sad, because each step must honor your pain. Sufi proverb. But walk quickly when you want to remember that you are alive. Let us add. So, if you had to start somewhere, this would be it. By one step, then another, then a daily walk, sacred, without distractions, without an external goal, but with a clear intention. Rekindle your inner fire. And one day, maybe in 6 months, someone will see you walking and say to another, "Look at this person. It seems like life chose him to stay with us longer." And that day, you will know that it's not speed that counts, but what it says about you. Would you like me to move on to section 2? Grip strength. Your grip on life. 2. Grip strength. Your grip on life. What you grasp with strength will not easily leave you. Eastern wisdom. Close your eyes for a moment and feel your hand. It's not just a tool. It is a living memory. Every wrinkle in your palm, every rib under the skin tells the story of what you built, lost, protected. And above all, what you chose to have. In longevity, hospitals, there is a simple test. A dynamometer. You squeeze him as hard as you can. And this number, this seemingly banal number, can predict your risk of falls, dependence, and even mortality. But deep down, it's not just a muscle test. It's a silent measure of your will to live. The hand is only strong if the heart gives it the order to tighten. Indian proverb. Think back to all those moments when your hand spoke for you. When you held your child's hand for the first time. When you hugged someone you loved and didn't yet dare to tell them. When you closed your fist in a moment of silent revolt against illness, loss, or injustice. The grip is not brute force. It is the last link between the body and dignity. And the studies are clear. After age 70, the higher your grip strength, the healthier your entire body is. The nervous system, the muscles, the bones, the heart. Everything is connected. But there is an even deeper connection. The hand is the extension of the soul in movement. Is your hand still able to hold your dreams tightly? Or have you let time slip through your fingers? An 81-year-old woman named Maria lived alone in rural Spain. Every morning she kneaded her bread by hand, not out of obligation but out of ritual. She said, "When I feel the dough under my fingers, I remember that I am still capable of creating." The simple movement, presser, to have to input, kept his hand strong until age 93. One day, a doctor shook his hand and smiled. "Madame, you squeeze harder than some 40-year-old men." She replied, "That's because I still have things to hold before I leave." Take your hands now. Look at them, flip them over, feel them. When did you stop training them? When did you think they couldn't do anything important anymore? They fed you, clothed you, protected you. They prayed, trembled, caressed, and even today, they can anchor to life. He who confidently shakes the hand of life does not fear the shocks of fate. Berber proverb. Hand grip exercises aren't just physical. They awaken muscle memory. They revive nerve connections. But above all, they send a message. I'm not giving up. In certain spiritual traditions, the right hand is the symbol of action, the left hand that of receptivity. When you strengthen your grip, you strengthen your ability to receive life and to act on it. What if every day you decided to take control of your destiny, literally? Catch a ball, squeeze a sponge, carry a load, shake a friend's hand with intention. These simple gestures weave an invisible thread between the invisible and the tangible. A man I knew said this: "As long as I can shake my grandchildren's hands without shaking, I know I'm still here." And you? What are you still holding strong enough to say you're alive? 3. The quality of your sleep, this silent sanctuary. Sleep is the best meditation. Dalai Lama. There are doors that only open in the dark, invisible portals between the breath of the world and that of the soul. And these doors, you cross them every night. Or rather, you should. Sleep is not a break. It's not a leak. It's a sacred ritual, a secret space where your body repairs, where your mind is cleansed, and where your heart learns to forgive. And yet, how many of us are desecrate this sanctuary? Screens until late, thoughts that spin, a pillow full of regrets. When have you listened to the silence before sleeping, without screens, without noise, just you and you? Sleep, at this age, is no longer measured in hours. It is measured in quality of abandonment. The night does not belong to us. It welcomes us. Eastern proverb. Modern research confirms this. 7 to 8 hours, deep, uninterrupted sleep after 70 years. It is an extended lifeline. The brain cleanses itself. The heart slows down. The immune system strengthens. But the ancients already knew that. Sleeping is put your fate in the hands of the universe. It's saying, I no longer have control, and that's fine. An old Buddhist master said, "He who sleeps well has made peace with the day." And you? Have you made peace with your day? Every unresolved thought becomes a stone under your pillow. Every forgotten grudge becomes a tension in your neck. Every word held back becomes a nightmare. We sleep well when the soul is naked and the heart is light. Persian wisdom. A 74-year-old woman, recently widowed, suffered from chronic insomnia. Nothing worked. Medicines, soft music, infusions, until the day she started a new ritual. Every night, before going to bed, she wrote 3 sentences. Thank you for what I received today. I forgive what I cannot change. I let myself be carried away by the night. In 3 weeks, she was back to deep sleep. His face had softened. His dreams had returned. And she said, I don't sleep. I travel. It's not about performance. It's not about seeking sleep as an obligation. More than create an interior space where he can come and settle. A clean mattress, a subdued light, a scent of lavender or eucalyptus. But above all, a peaceful mind. When was the last time you made your bedroom a temple of calm, a sacred place, just for you? Sleep is a pact between you and the night. The more carefully you prepare, the more gifts she will give you. Dreams that repair. Silences that heal. Gentle awakenings, with the feeling of having been actually absent, and yet deeply present to yourself. Close your eyes and let the night stitch you back together. Inuit proverb. So, tonight, don't suddenly turn off the light. Turn off your thoughts first. Treat yourself to a minute of silence. Lie down as if you were entering an ancient sanctuary made of mist and memory. Remember that your sleep is a form of prayer, an offering that you make to the body that has carried you so much. And while you sleep, the universe works for you. 4. your social network, a surrounded heart. An old man without friends is like a tree without roots. Japanese proverb. There is something quieter than illness, something more insidious than age. It is loneliness. She settles in slowly. First, when the calls become rarer. Then when the children take flight. And finally, when we start talking to walls more often than to human beings. And yet, the heart continues to beat. More it beats more slowly, more weakly, when he has no one to love or listen to. Science today confirms what the ancients already knew. Chronic loneliness increases 45% mortality risk after 70 years. More than obesity, more than tobacco, more than diabetes. Because the human heart is made to vibrate with others. Who do you call when your heart is heavy? Not for a solution, not for advice, just to be heard, just for exist in the voice of the other. An old gentleman said to me one day, I don't want people to talk to me about my tests or my medications. I want people to ask me, how did you feel this morning when you opened your eyes? In a village in southern Italy, there lived a man named Enzo, widowed for 11 years. No children. But every morning, he went to drink a coffee in the same place, at the same table. He didn't talk much, but people would say hello to him, touch his shoulder, offer him a smile. One day he missed. For 2 days, the chair remained empty. So 3 neighbors went to look for him. He had simply caught a cold. But he started to cry. Not because of the fever, but because he said, I didn't know anyone would come for me. The simple presence made him want to go out again. And he lived another 9 years, not alone. He who is surrounded by even a little is richer than he who has everything, but alone. Gypsy proverb. Maybe you lost friends. Maybe some have left or changed. But there is still time to open a window. A neighbor, a cousin, a former colleague, a grandson who hesitates to call you. You don't need a huge circle. You need 2 or 3 true presences. People who know how to listen to your silences, and in front of whom you don't need to pretend to be fine. Social connection isn't just about talking. It is to be seen. It is be recognized as existing. Elderly people who receive at least one sincere call per day, or who share a meal in good company a few times a week, see their stress level drop, their immunity rise, and their joy of living return. Have you taken a minute today to tell someone, you mean something to me? Some spiritual traditions say that a single man is like a lamp without oil. It can still light up, but it will go out quickly. And you, brother, you, sister, you were not born to fade into silence. You were born for share your stories, to still laugh, even at 80 years old, to put a hand on another's shoulder and say, I understand how you feel. A single loving voice can repel 1,000 nights. Mystical proverb. It's not the number of your connections that matters. It is the intensity of your presence in the hearts of others. Even a single link, solid, true, can extend your life. And it's never too late to weave a new one. 5. Your ability to get up, the sacred art of getting back up. Fall 7 times, get up 8. Zen proverb. It's not the fall that scares you. It is the doubt that we will no longer be able to get up. And sometimes, it is this doubt that breaks harder than the fall itself. After age 70, the body becomes sacred ground where every imbalance can be a signal. The statistics are clear. Falls are the leading cause of serious injury and loss of autonomy. But there is one detail that the figures forget. Those who get back up aren't just those with muscles. These are those who have an internal decision to stay standing. The verticality of the body is a reflection of the strength of the soul. Asian wisdom. Do you remember when you learned to walk? None? It's normal. But your body remembers it. He has this ancient memory of first bearing, that miraculous moment when you went from the ground to the world. Even today, this force is there. She may be sleeping, but she never left you. The question is not, am I too old to move? The real question is, have you taken care of your inner stability today as much as your physical posture? One day, an 85-year-old old man came to a rehabilitation center. He had fallen, and since then he had been limping, walking in fear. The physiotherapist asked him, "When you fell, where did it hurt?" And the man replied, "Not to the knee, to courage." We retrained him, but not just the muscles. We awakened in him the remember its solidity. Every day, for 10 minutes, he did these simple actions. Raise one foot, touch the wall, breathe, feel its weight, laugh a little too. And a month later he said, "I don't walk faster, but I no longer walk with fear." It's not about becoming an acrobat. It is about restore the balance between heaven and earth within you. Every time you get up, stand straight, keep your axis. You tell the world, "I'm still here, I'm not done." And in this simple posture, straight but flexible, there is power. The ancient yogis said that the spine is the sacred channel of life. The more in harmony it is, the more the energy circulates. And with it, the vitality, memory, the breath. A simple exercise, done consciously. Raise your arms while inhaling. Pull in your stomach. Anchor yourself in your feet. Close your eyes for a second. Can reset inner balance. When did you take the time to feel the ground beneath your feet? Not just walk, but to feel. Each step, each support, each movement is a message. Your body does not ask for youth. He asks the presence. A tree falls if it stops communicating with its roots. Taoist proverb. Falls are not ends. They are teachers. They whisper, "Slow down. Come back to your axis. Listen to your center." And you have always carried this center within you. Even when you feel fragile, you're never too old to become a rock again. 6. Your relationship to life, invisible optimism. It is not the mountain that we conquer, but ourselves. Edmund Hillary. Those who live long share a profound commonality. A meaning, an inner light, a faith, a goal. Optimism is not an illusion. It is medicine. One study showed that optimistic people live on average 11–15% longer. Do you still believe that the best of your life is perhaps ahead of you? Change your outlook, and you will change your destiny. 7. Conscious breathing, source of life. Take a deep breath. You are here. You are alive. Thich Nhat Hanh. Slow, deep and conscious breathing activates the parasympathetic system, reduces blood pressure and slows down cellular aging. It is the only autonomous function you can voluntarily control to extend your life. When have you taken 3 real breaths today, without doing anything else? To breathe is to pray with the body. It's reminding your heart that you are still here. Growing old is still the only way we have found to live a long time. Charles Augustin Sainte-Beuve. These 7 signs are not fatalities. They are keys. Each of them gives you a chance to take back control of your destiny. What if, from this evening, you decided to make your body a temple, your mind a light, and your daily life a sacred ritual to lengthen your life? Subscribe if you felt this message in your heart. Share it with those you love. And remember, you are alive, so live.